Well, the March Women in Leadership Honoree has been announced. It's Jill Jedlicka, the Executive Director of Buffalo Niagara Waterkeeper, and she's had this position since 2012. Jill has worked hard to protect the water in our area, restore environments, engage communities, and inspire change. That's a lot.
Yes, it
Jill,
is.
so congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How did you get organized and think to yourself, this is something that I want to get involved in?
Well, I think when I was a little girl, I knew that I always had a leaning toward wanting to protect the environment and the outdoors. And through my school education and through my career choices, lo and behold, I found this group. At that time, we were called Friends of the Buffalo River. And the last 15 years have really just been an opportunity for me and my colleagues to live our passion for protecting the local environment.
That's fantastic. And I understand your great uncle was also involved in something
Yes.
like this, so it's kind of hereditary for you.
It is. It's in the blood.
Yeah.
My parents always said it's in our blood. And my great uncle Stanley Spisiak was a locally renowned environmental activist as far back as the 1940s. And he was known then as Mr. Buffalo River. And so we're lucky, and I'm lucky enough to try and carry on his legacy.
That's great, Jill. A generation ago, people wouldn't have got close to the water in this area. It was so polluted, and now we have such a wonderful fishing industry, and people are out in the waters again and enjoying it. What do you think was the biggest change to make that happen?
Honestly, I really think it was the community voice. It was people who've really stood up in this community and said, we want our waterfront back. Our rivers and lakes were functionally declared dead in the 60s and 70s. And this is the world's greatest freshwater asset and system in our own backyard, in our own front yard. And we need to leverage it for our quality of life, for our local economy, and for our own health.
Jill, are you looking for volunteers, for people to come on out and help?
All the time. That's a great opportunity because so much of what we do is very technical and science oriented. Sometimes people can't connect at that level, but there are ways that individuals can make a difference through our cleanups, through our restoration efforts. We actually have our annual cleanup that's coming up this April 21st.
Good. Let's tell people about that so we can get everybody involved.
It's our annual Shoreline sweep. So every year we mobilize over 2,000 volunteers throughout Western New York at about 50 different sites, and we pick up about 10 tons of trash and litter from our local waterways.
Great to even bring children to start letting them think about our environment, and because you know what, our waterfront is their future.
Right, and we can't necessarily all save the planet at the same time, but we can do stuff to improve our own community. What
would you say, Jill, you're most proud of from having this position since, what, 2012?
Right, well, I've been with the organization for 16 years now, but this role since 2012. I think one of the things I'm most proud of is that we are seeing the fruits of our labor. We are actually physically changing the community. We see it happening, and we see a culture shift. People's attitudes and behaviors are changing too.
That's fantastic. And what would you say is some of the bigger challenges that we still have ahead of us?
Well, we still have an issue with bacterial contamination in the waterways from sewer overflows, but we're working hard with the local agencies and governments to address that. And it's a lot of things from our legacy of contamination, but also ongoing pollution that's happening through everyday activities from individuals. It's easy I think, to point blame at industry or government, but it's a lot of our own behaviors of pesticides on our lawns and plastic bottle use. It's a lot of that.
And Jill, it's going to be interesting now as we're changing our waterfront to more recreation instead of industrial, the challenges that will be there to maintain what we have and to keep this going.
Yes, you hit the nail on the head. The big challenge of the next 100 years in our region is stewardship, because Waterkeeper's worked with many partners for decades and spent hundreds of millions of dollars to restore these systems. We as a community need to come together and maintain, we steward and maintain that progress and the health of those systems for the next generation.
Well, Jill, for those who would like to come out and join you for the big cleanup, once again, how can they get in touch with you?
You can check our website, which is bnwaterkeeper.org, or you can call our office at 852-7483.
Do you need waiters or anything? Or?
No, you don't have to. You can do that if you want, but most people just stay on the shorelines, and we provide all the equipment for you.
Well, Jill, thank you for everything that you're doing on behalf of everybody who appreciates the beautiful waterfront that we have here, and our lakes and our streams and our rivers. And folks, now that the weather is getting nicer, you're getting out, maybe you have a waterway that you can enjoy, pick up some of the litter and let's enjoy, our beautiful spring and understand that there's wildlife who lives there too. And this is all for us in the future if we keep it clean. That's what it's all about. So congratulations to Jill Jedlicka, who is the Executive Director of Buffalo Niagara Waterkeeper, and she is our Women in Leadership Honoree for March. If you'd like more information about that group, there's the website. And you can nominate another woman for next month, and we love meeting them here on AM Buffalo.